Good afternoon, everybody. It's Adam Crossley here, CEO of Fairoaks IT, and happy to be with you on another afternoon here for one of our bite-sized trainings. Looking forward to talking about today's subject, all about organization and making sure that you're staying on top of your tasks, and more importantly, maybe your larger team too is staying on top of their tasks. So specifically today, we're going to be talking about Microsoft Planner and then subsequently Microsoft To Do. And I guess to start, I'll give you a high-level just overview of what Planner is. And some of you may be familiar with Microsoft Project. Microsoft Project is a fantastic, very detail-oriented project management and project planning tool. Microsoft saw a need to develop a lighter weight tool where folks can just go put together simple but still structured and detailed enough project plans. And from there was born Microsoft Planner. And Planner, because it's a little more lightweight, is a lot easier to use. It's the type of tool that even if you've never used it before, you can pick it up and use it, which is great for teams that are just emerging, maybe some younger talent or folks who just haven't been on a project management team, or maybe even have never used Microsoft Project. And again, those of you who've used Microsoft Project probably understand that you can do a lot with it, but any tool you can do a lot with, obviously there's a bit of a learning curve too. So I am excited to talk to you about Microsoft Planner. I will say that like any Microsoft tool nowadays, there is also fantastic integration with Microsoft Copilot, which is Microsoft's AI tool, similar to ChatGPT. If you've been on my webinars before, you've heard me talk about Copilot and get excited about it. We're not going to talk so much about how Copilot integrates with Planner today. I think we'll leave that for another day. Again, if you've been on my bite-sized trainings, you know that we've only got 15 minutes to cover a topic here, which is intentional on my part. I know you guys are busy, and I truly, I do intend on these bite-sized trainings to be quick hitting and get you information that you can use in your business or your personal life, for that matter, in a quick way, because we're all busy. So that's why we're here today, Microsoft To Do, Microsoft Planner. And without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and kick this off. So we're going to dive right into me showing you what Microsoft Planner is all about. What I've done here is actually logged into a demo tenant that we have. If you don't know this already, if you've got Microsoft 365, if you're a client of ours, you most likely do. If you don't, you should get it. But if you've got Microsoft 365, going to office.com, that's your launch pad for everything your Microsoft licensing gives you access to. So that's my first tidbit out there, is always go to office.com. It's got everything you need. And maybe you'll even find something in there that you didn't know existed, which is kind of cool too. So we are going to dive right into what Microsoft Planner looks like here. And again, I just wanted to show you quickly what office.com looked like. This is your jumping off point for anything Office related, Outlook, Word, etc. In here, you're going to see Microsoft Planner. I'm going to scroll down a little bit and find Planner for us. I've already lost it. There you go. We're going to go into Planner, click there. You can also go to planner.microsoft.com if you want to do that. But we're going to dive right in. And like I mentioned, this is meant to be sort of a lightweight replacement for Microsoft Project. You should also know that if you already have Microsoft Business licensing, you get Planner with that licensing. So it's not like Microsoft Project where you have to go spend thousands of dollars to purchase it on top of what you already have. This already exists. So look, if this works for you at the end of this little bite-sized training and you think this would work, it's going to save you a lot of money because you don't have to go buy Microsoft Project. So let's dive into what Planner can really do. The first screen on Planner is going to show you something called My Day. In this case, it looks like our demo person here, in this case, his name is Alex, has 3 tasks that he needs to complete today. It looks like they're kind of more personal tasks, but that's one thing I wanted to point out about Planner is you can mix personal and business things in here. It lumps them all together. That way, you know, on this day, I have these things to do. Looks like Alex has to go make dinner reservations for his anniversary. That's a personal thing, obviously. Don't want to forget that. And then it looks like he's got to send a pitch deck to his sales VP. So that's interesting as well. That's your My Day. Pretty simple. Nothing really to write home about there. But again, it's a nice way to keep your tasks in order for yourself and for your business. One thing I want to point out here is that Planner, I've used the word task a few times, Planner uses tasks. I want to point out, you may be asking or may have seen before, something called Microsoft To Do. And I'm back on our Office home screen. I want to do a little bit of a tangent here and show you that. Microsoft To Do is where you can go to see all of the tasks that either you've created for yourself or have been assigned to you. Generally, any task that's been assigned to you has come from someone using Microsoft Planner. And I'll explain what I mean by that in a moment here, but I want to point out that if you truly just want a simple place to keep tasks, like an old school notebook, or if you guys remember the previous version of Outlook had a to-do list on the side, pane on the side that you could go to, that's what this is. This is now called Microsoft To Do. This is also baked into the new version of Outlook, which is neat. So I want to show you that as a quick tangent. Back to Planner though, I'm going to go down the list of the menu here and show you the different features of Planner. The next thing here is going to be My Tasks. My Tasks is going to show you, regardless of the date, everything that either you have created as a task for yourself or other tasks that other members of your team within your company have assigned to you. So you'll see here that Alex, in this case, has a number of things that have been assigned to him by various plans. And I'll show you in a second what I mean by plans. That's the next tab here. But high level, this is where I can go and say, as an employee of Contoso Inc., in this case, Contoso Electronics, what does my day look like? What haven't I started yet? What do I need to work on? And when do I need it to be done by? So very simple, quick way to organize yourself as a member of a company, but think about it as a leader too at a company. You can come in here, say you've got a 5-person, 10-person company, even larger, doesn't matter. You can come in here and design your entire employees' week with tasks and goals, etc. There can be long-term goals here. You could even use this as an HR management system where you put in employee annual goals in here, and they come in and they know that in 2026, by December 31st, 2026, I have to have completed whatever my goals are for that year. Great place to go back, reference, the employee can take notes, etc. So again, maybe just another idea for you guys as a way to use this. I'm going to go to show you what plans are in a second, and then I'm going to dive in back into the details of a particular task. So what I'm going to do here is, or what's going on here is it's actually listing out all of the plans that Alex, in this case, is a part of. Now, a plan is a collection of tasks in Planner, all right? So think of this as you can have a plan for a department or maybe an event, say. In this case, we have some examples that are using events. This company, Contoso Electronics, it sounds like they're going to have a product launch event soon. So we're going to click on that and find out what that means to them, how they're using Planner to launch a product. So in here, there's some baked in tasks that I've populated in here to kind of show you how you can use this. The first thing I want to point out is that you can bucketize tasks. Every one of these sections here is a bucket. So to do, on track, at risk, blocked. You can name these buckets whatever you want. So for example, let's imagine that you run a manufacturing company. If you run a manufacturing company, maybe you want to know what tasks you have for getting inventory together to build whatever you're building, and then tasks for manufacturing whatever you're manufacturing, and then maybe a bucket for tasks for shipping that product. So it's wide open for how you want to design this, and it's truly, customizable within reason, not as complicated as project, but within reason for how you want to use it. In this case, again, this is about a product launch event. So we've got things bucketized into to do, what's on track, what's at risk, and what's been blocked, meaning maybe we can't do it or because of something else that's been blocked in our calendar. So it's just the way they decided to do it here. What I want to show you, though, are some traits of a task, and this is where it gets really cool. So I'm just going to click on one of these tasks and show you what you can do with this. It's pretty powerful. First of all, you can, again, say I'm Alex here. We're pretending to be this person, Alex. I can come in here and assign anybody I want to any task. So say this task needs to be this gentleman, Lee, and maybe this person, Adele. So I've added Adele to the task. Now we know that both of them need to complete this task. Other cool things I can do in here. What tags or how is this task related to other things? So In this case, it has to do with apparently a keynote presentation they're doing and event planning in general. I can go back into Planner later and say, show me all the tasks related to event planning. Boom, it's going to show you because you tagged it in the task appropriately. So pretty neat stuff. And as you can see, it's very simple to use. You can choose the bucket you want to put it in. I talked about that. You can even say the progress level. Have we started it? Is it in progress? Is it completed? And then furthermore, you can report on all of this later. As an executive or a leader of a department or maybe an owner of your company, I can pull a report that says, show me all the tasks that are not started yet, for example. Show me all the tasks that are at risk, for example. It's a great way to foster leadership thinking and maybe topics for what you need to go to your departments to have them focus on. You can do start dates, due dates. They can span over multiple days. They can be within a day. It's up to you. Very neat there. And does it repeat or not? Kind of like a meeting invitation. Then any notes you want to put, very easy to do there. The other cool thing, you can attach anything you want to these tasks. And for example, because it's all in the Microsoft ecosystem, it's very, very easy to do. If I go to team files here, it's going to show me everything that's in my OneDrive, SharePoint, whole 9 yards. Say for some reason this task is related to this PowerPoint. I just have to click it, save it. Now, anybody I assign this task to, I can put in a note here, please review the PowerPoint. Now the PowerPoint's attached, easy to do, all set. You can also communicate within tasks. That's really neat. And I encourage you to do that. Too often we've got emails flying around that aren't attached to anything. You've got a cross-reference thing. Here you can just say, I updated the PowerPoint, now need lead to sign off, right? Just put the comment in there. Send everybody who is a member of this task, because I hit send there, they're now going to get an email that says, hey, Alex, in this case, just updated the task, check it out. So that's pretty cool. Very powerful. Again, like a lot of these Microsoft products, it's all kind of in how you use it and how you set it up. And hopefully I'm getting some stuff out there for you guys some soup starter, I guess, to understand how you can get these things set up. So that's pretty neat. Other things in here, you can change your view, a nice list view grid there, shows your start date, etc. You can look at a schedule view, very neat there. So you can look at the calendar for the month, the week, for example, whatever you need to do. Also, there's reporting. Again, I mentioned maybe executive reporting. This is a great way to show by bucket, how are we doing on our task? What's at risk? What's completed, for example, priority level, and who, workload-wise, who has the most tasks assigned to them. So pretty neat. Again, I know I mentioned Planner is kind of a lightweight alternative to Project, but it still has some heavier hitting features as well. So that's that. I do want to bring up one other cool thing, and I've mentioned something called Power Automate in the past to you guys. I wanted to bring it up in this call very quickly because it's somewhat related to Microsoft Planner. Power Automate is a way for you to automate any workflow in your company. And I want to show you really quickly the power behind this. And I'm going to show you a quick example where, let's say that you're someone who just has a ton of tasks assigned to you, and maybe you don't always get to log into Planner to know when you've been assigned a task. Well, you can go into Microsoft Planner, create an automation. I'm sorry, not Microsoft Planner, Microsoft Power Automate, create an automation. And I'm going to search for Planner here. I can create an automation for Planner for whenever somebody assigns a task to me, send me an email. That way I know about it. That's pretty neat. So I can come in here, create an automation. You can even edit it. It can send text messages. It can send emails to other people. It can create a meeting invite for you. Power Automate's very, very powerful. You come in here, you do this, you save it. Now you've added further customization to your Microsoft Planner application. So, and just hopefully that opens your mind into, wondering what else you can do. And, the answer is you can do a lot more with this too. So pretty neat there. So again, to summarize, we've got Microsoft Planner, great way to manage some small scale projects maybe, great way to keep track of tasks you've got personally and professionally. Again, don't forget about Microsoft To Do, which integrates with Outlook, etc. And I do want to say too, don't forget that all of this also integrates with Microsoft Teams. Everything I've showed you here, you can embed in Microsoft Teams, chat with people, share files, etc., which is really neat. So hopefully I've taught you guys something today. As usual, I know these webinars are a little fast-paced, but again, that's my goal. 15 minutes, show you something you can use hopefully in your day-to-day at work, and make you a little smarter than you were hopefully when you joined. So that's going to be it for today. Again, Adam Crossley here, CEO of Fairoaks IT. Any questions, you know how to get a hold of me. Please reach out and have a great one. We'll see you later.